technology has disrupted almost everything for good, but it has also brought challenges for many. Amid this transforming era, the role of a CFO has become very critical. Volopay keenly observed these changing times and made it a mission to build a single platform for all financial management needs across teams and global locations so that CFOs can take quick decisions.
The idea was basically to help CFOs to manage their compliance needs, to manage their accounting needs, to overall finance.
You see, the CFO role has been changing rapidly, evolving day by day. So I think some of these forums which have got created, and Volopay, ET Times is doing a great job.
We at Volopay, along with Economic Times, have created this event to bring together the smartest financial professionals, not just CFOs, right? All the financial professionals, very experienced individuals together at one single room.
To engage with finance professionals and to discuss the ongoing efforts of digital transformation, Volopay and the Economic Times together conceptualized a multi-city knowledge series called the Innovative CFOs, with a vision to empower the next generation of businesses around the world with the best tools to achieve their full growth potential.
Change is the only constant, and that's kind of a age-old statement with lots of wisdom behind it. Completely true for a CFO in the ever-changing technology world.
Today I met a few of very interesting CFOs from other businesses, other industries. It helps me to expand my knowledge.
All these platforms are very useful to us, because it gives a lot of information, and we are able to use many platforms to even automate our system.
Really diverse panel. So I do hope it will bring together a lot of different perspectives on the role of CFO, on the role of technology and digital adaptation.
The Bangalore chapter of the Innovative CFOs was flagged off by opening remarks by Ashutosh Sinha, senior editor at the Economic Times. Here are some highlights from the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very special initiative by the Economic Times and Volopay. And let me try and just put in very briefly what the idea was. Everyone's aware and everyone knows the way technology is impacting our lives, whether we are companies, whether we are individuals, whether we are large or small enterprises. And the role of the CFO is changing and changing every day. So the conversation and a series, we're doing this series with Volopay across the country, multiple cities, and trying to talk about various aspects of this change. So look forward to this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you indeed.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the keynote, may I please invite on stage Mr. Sujit Kumar, co-founder Udaan.
Hello everyone, and thank you for the invitation. Everybody is asking how to do more with the less, where you can save the cost. So CFOs are more important this time. When you are growing and how to balance the growth and the financial discipline, I think those are the time changing your intuitions, how to challenge your muscle memories, somebody who has to come and make the important, say growth is important or financial discipline is more important, and how to balance both of it. But in current environment, people are saying that even if you are not growing, it's fine. But how you are spending your money and where you are spending money, that's more important. From founder to investor to the market, they are more interested into your financial discipline. So bringing that, developing a muscle memory in the early stage and early journey of the company is very important. And that's why CFO, I see there is one of the most important aspect in the journey. Thank you all of you.
And now to deliver a special address, it is an absolute honor to invite on stage Mr. Sanjeev Singh, Principal Commissioner, Income Tax, Government of India.
Thank you for the invite. It's always a pleasure speaking to the financial sector experts. Just to look at, start with direct taxes. And direct taxes, there are 4 focus areas and themes which we are focusing on. The first theme being, of course, taxpayer service delivery, because we believe that if a person is willing to comply, we should make it easy for him to comply. The second theme is, we thought that we have to manage the information in a better way, that it's not enough collecting data. We have to make sure the data quality is good. So a lot of rules and logic of both data quality management and as well as the data enrichment part. So that we need to do, because apart from processing the return, the main function of department is that we need to ensure proper compliance, which means proper reporting of income by people. The third area, as I told, is to somehow show this information to everyone at the earliest. So my only advice is please, look into your new AIS 26AS, where more than 50 information types, and this is increasing every day. The fourth big area, which you will be seeing the big corporates, is we are trying to transform the entire assessment function of the income tax department. Please, whatever filing you're doing other than your return also, look into it, because you are partners with the tax department. So the kind of data which comes in, the PAN number correctness and all, please ensure that is accurate. Please update your contact address. Please look into your AIS and TIS. Please give feedback on time so that you have rectified information before you file your return. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now have a panel discussion on emerging technology and impact on CFOs. And to moderate this session, it is an absolute pleasure once again to invite on stage Mr. Ashutosh Sinha, Senior Editor, The Economic Times. May I now request our esteemed panelist, Mr. K.M. Aswin Kumar, CFO, Portia Medical, Mr. Ashok Sonthalia, CFO, Titan Company, Ms. Vidya Sarthi, Whole-time Director and CFO, 3M, Mr. Venkatraman Narayanan, Managing Director and CFO, Happiest Minds Technologies, and Mr. Nirvikar Jain, Global Business Officer and Head of Alternate Channels, Volopay.
I'd like to begin with you, Ashok. The big picture, the changing role, and the opportunities to grow faster, something that Mr. Kumar mentioned, that everyone's question, why do you need to grow faster?
Yeah, that need is there for sure. I was hearing someone who was, putting an analogy that this is accelerator and brake, and to drive a car, both are needed. Sometimes CFOs are seen as a brake or accelerator, but if you want to drive a car successfully, you need both. Without any one of them, you are bound to meet some accident. We are finding ourselves getting involved in every aspect of business. The CEOs who treat CFOs as right-hand man, I think these are the organizations which are successful and more sustainable organizations to my mind. Wherever finance is left to only the earlier role of accounting, reporting, those organizations are not growing, not progressing. So,
Vidya, a traditional company. So 3M, for a lot of you who may not know, one of the iconic companies in the US. My personal earliest memories go with that book, that fantastic book that Tom Peters has written, some of you may remember, In Search of Excellence. And 3M is extensively quoted in that book for the excellence in their practices. Now, that kind of a traditional company is now obviously accelerating towards a tech transformation. How do you drive that? And while I ask that question, the finance function for it.
Yeah, see, I should say that technology is a very great innovation of humankind now, because it really shaped our thinking and it's changed our lives, technology. And then in this digital world, we also find ourselves changed from a simple version of human life into a different what we are now. So that also has happened. We can have a simple life. Always you need to know what has changed and how do you cope with the change. Coping with the change is not a simple task. You need to get it done. But it also has helped us in globalization. Now whole world is just one platform. Needless, where you are, whether you're in India or you're in US, you're in Japan, you're in China, you're just connected on a real-time basis. I should say we start our discussions some with the APAC country somewhere 6:36 India time, and then we end up with US discussions 12:31 midnight. So we are all in the same world and we are just discussing everyday basis. So that's how things have changed for us. And then, of course, this technology, finance has embraced technology because without technology, I think we can never be, or we would not have reached the place where we are now. So as a CFO, even the regulators are expecting accuracy, reliability, investors, regulators, all the stakeholders. So you have to see your numbers are accurate, reliable, so you need automations. And now we are able to proudly say that we finish all our monthly information flow to US third working day, and then they are able to generate consolidated picture globally with 7 working days. It's all possible because everything is integrated, everything is automated, and then all the standard reports are thrown out to different businesses. So each one has access to whatever data they need, and therefore it also adds much value to business. And we also see CFOs sitting next to the CEOs all the time, they feel very comfortable. You are always there in the strategic decision round table. So that's how I think finance has really evolved, and then we are one of the great pillars to the organization growth, and we are able to do compliance. I should really thank the government that they have really done a lot of work, and they are ahead of the corporates, I should say. We are now trying to cope up with the government information, and as Mr. Sinha was saying, we are having real-time kind of virtual assessments are happening. It's much faster. The speed is there, accuracy is there. So everything is happening at the same time. So that is what the change we are seeing now.
She used the word the technology pillars. For the CFO, what are some of those technology pillars which will help him work closely with the needs for the business and then drive the change, maybe at an accelerated pace, Ashwin?
I work with Potia Medical, which is a startup. We are about an 8-year-old company. So in this kind of a startup situation, the CFO is not merely a reporting function. We actually are the driving function. We have an opportunity to work with technology and actually to drive functions and drive business. That is the opportunity we have in a startup. I think we need to anticipate what kind of requirement will come in the future, what kind of technology we need to deal with, because the technology is the biggest differentiator. Now, what we had done was that we had implemented an ERP across the company in 2019. So this actually enabled us to deliver all this information that was required to file the DRHP. Now, also filing DRHP, it is becoming difficult in the sense the government is asking for a lot of KPIs and a lot of information, key performance indicators. So we need to collate all this and then provide it and then have a successful DRHP. And see, therefore, the role of the CFO, you need to embrace technology. Not just embrace technology, but also drive technology. You need to take ownership for certain aspects of the business and drive the business itself. And that is an opportunity that I believe that as a CFO of a startup, you must take it and then drive it.
So that's very, very interesting. So Venkatraman, the role of the CFO merging with the CDO of sorts, is that something that's happening, or probably he's wearing another hat?
It became very clear that technology is ubiquitous now. What do you expect a successful CFO to be? He should have good negotiation skills, good communication skills, good presentation skills, understand the business, understand the finance function, and should be able to deliver on the job. But one thing that's missing is technology, the capability of understanding technology. Technically, most of the times the CFOs look at a problem and then look for the technology to solve the problem. Rather than that, we should embrace the technology first and see how that technology can help. Nobody told me that I need to be I should be a successful negotiator to be a successful CFO, right? You took that for granted. Similar is the case with technology. I need to now embrace technology. I need to be in the forefront of technology. I was just looking at my own experience, 28, 30 years of being in the finance function, and a large part of that as Chief Financial Officer. I must have implemented about 12 ERP solutions and multiple BI solutions, multiple data interchange platforms. For a successful CFO, he has to be technology-led, which then goes to business, understand the business, understands technology, and then be able to lead from there. So when you say Chief Data Officer, absolutely, given. You need to understand data, you need to understand how data plays up, how it rolls up, how it feeds into multiple other platform situations. Technology democratizes all these systems that you have around you, the data around you, and you need to be really up there.
Nirvikar, so since technology is driving it, how can the CFO be the craftsman really? Because a lot of these processes, a lot of these systems are driven as an automated process. So you really need to craft things together to tell that larger corporate story. How does the CFO do that? How does technology help him do that?
That's where Venkat pointed out that CFO has to keep his eyes and ears open. There is so much happening in the finance field. All the new age fintechs, the kind of solutions that are coming up, you can actually, and as compared to the ERPs, the monolithic ERPs that used to be implemented in the past, today technology is available in modules. You can pick up a problem and solve the solution and knit together a range of solutions to build something that you need, a custom solution, So I would say the CFO needs to go out, keep talking. I mean, I can give you one example. I was running a Silicon Valley startup a couple of years ago, and I was first time performing the role of CFO. And we had so much of paperwork, manual processes. All it took was I spoke to a lot of CFOs for 2-3 weeks, and I found out what are they doing. And I was able to put together a paperless office within 90 days.
A lot of finance professionals here who would want to be CFOs tomorrow. What would your advice be for them to prepare for the CFO role of tomorrow?
The finance role or CFO role from justifying the past versus influencing the future has shifted. So it's not transitioning that you are no more, just justify historical numbers why they happened. You have to influence the future. And in CFO role, there are certain core things which are not going to disappear. Like the core of reporting, compliance, governance, risk management. Nobody is going to pardon you if something goes wrong.
Nirvikar, you've had a very good platform seeing it from Silicon Valley. For tomorrow's companies, how critical, how can the CFO or the finance professional sift through the process-driven role and then the imagineering kind of a role where he's imagining and driving the business? These systems have to be in place and the thinking of the top management. Also for the manufacturing companies, very important for the oxygen of the company, the finance function.
Right.
That needs to be in place for tomorrow's preparedness. What would you say?
Finance is really like the blood in a human body. Unless the flows are happening in the right manner, the whole machine can stop. So it's absolutely important. And in the Valley also, when we work with startups, the first thing you want to tell people is to set up your financial system, your flows, because if you cannot do that, the first thing you do when you form a company is pay for the incorporation, right? So it starts with that, and if you do not solve that right at the beginning, then you will spend a lot more time trying to figure out the mess or sort it in looking back rather than looking forward. So I think that's absolutely essential, putting together a financial architecture on day one and using a lot of technology so that it can be done with less people and less errors. And that's exactly what we enable and help companies, startups and SMBs that really put in place financial rails at inception so that you don't face the issues later on.
And very importantly, with the security that is needed in today's world, given the realities.
Oh, yes. I mean, security, one is IT security, but I can also give you an example of fraud. I've had instances where a startup's accounting team, which did not have system in place, actually bought a car for themselves out of company money. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for your time, for being with us. And very importantly, I'd like to thank everyone on the panel also because of the way we are looking at working together with the government and the context that you mentioned about the way the government itself is changing so that tomorrow it should be good for all of us as citizens and of course for the finance function as well. Thank you so much for everyone being with us.
It was a pleasure to be here today, especially to see the open-mindedness of the CFOs from various institutions that came here and their ability to understand and adapt to the very staid and old-fashioned financial structure and say, look, they are ready to participate in supporting their company across departments. So that was a very novel change, and I hope this continues.
I think this session today was very, very topical, very, very relevant. Lot of companies are at a different stage of their digital journey, and CFOs are playing a good role. And those who are not playing, I think this session was a great awakening call for them that they need to learn about technology and start participating in their digital journey of their companies.
I have a great interest in income tax because my father is a retired Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax. So when he spoke about the various improvements, the various innovations that Income Tax Department is doing, something which touches you personally, for example, getting your refunds on time, and when you pay your advance tax, the Income Tax Department is planning to give you pre-filled forms so that you can quickly fill in those forms and then obtain acknowledgement number with respect to your payment, and then trace it back to your returns. That's wow. Earlier it was not the case.
It was very interesting for me to see that Economic Times have taken such a good initiative to connect the CFOs who are kind of performing, understanding technology and all that, and then how they connect with the other finance functions of different other corporates, as well as the startups and other things. So that was a good discussion, I would think, between us as well as the other people who have joined the conversation.
A great platform set up by Economic Times for interchange of ideas, and also trying to define what a new age and an innovative CFO should be.
Well, one thing is for sure, like all of us know, technology used to be at the side or first and then integrated with business. Today, technology has really got to the core of all businesses, and you have to basically build businesses with technology as its DNA right at the center. So I think that's really the big message, that you cannot build a successful business unless you think of technology being right at the center of it.
The role of CFO is now shaped toward taking bigger decisions, shaping the future of company, right? Where Volopay comes into the picture is you can take you can delegate those smaller responsibility of accounting, reporting and financing to Volopay, and have certain rules and have a robust system in place to look after those things, so that CFOs can look into the bigger picture, like the investments, the strategic directions, the expansion of businesses. So
we just did an event in Delhi, now we did this in Bangalore, we'll also be doing it in Pune, Hyderabad, and probably ultimately in Mumbai. So what we want to do is, we want to make it a very pan-India kind of an event, where we talk to professionals across the country, gather insights from them, so that it helps all the future people who are looking at finance as a profession, right? Looking forward to seeing all of you guys again.